Surrendering power can set you free. Are you tired of feeling trapped by the incessant need to control every facet of your existence? Does the relentless effort to keep everything meticulously in place leave you utterly exhausted? The surprising truth is that surrendering power might just be the ultimate key to unlocking a profound and lasting freedom. This exploration delves into the often misunderstood concept of surrender, revealing how it can pave the way for a life rich with peace, clarity, and genuine empowerment. By consciously releasing the iron grip of control, you can access a wellspring of liberation and freedom previously unimaginable. So take a moment, inhale deeply, release your anxieties, and prepare to discover the transformative power of surrender. The human desire for control is deeply ingrained. From childhood, we're taught that mastery over our environment and circumstances is the path to success and security. We learn to plan, to strategize, to anticipate, and to mitigate risks. This mindset, while valuable in many respects, can subtly morph into an oppressive burden. When the pursuit of control becomes an all-consuming obsession, it can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and a perpetual feeling of being overwhelmed. We meticulously curate our schedules, meticulously manage our finances, and tirelessly attempt to influence the opinions and actions of others. The belief that we must control everything to ensure our well-being becomes a self-imposed prison, each new attempt at control adding another bar to the cage. This isn't to say that all control is inherently negative. Prudent planning, responsible decision-making, and setting healthy boundaries are essential for navigating life effectively. The distinction lies in the attachment to outcome and the fear of the unknown. When our sense of security and happiness becomes contingent on specific results, and when we dread anything outside our meticulously crafted plans, that's where the burden of control becomes suffocating. We become rigid, inflexible, and resistant to change, ironically diminishing our ability to adapt and thrive in an ever-evolving world. The constant vigilance required to maintain this level of control drains our energy, stifles our creativity, and ultimately disconnects us from the natural flow of life. The misconception of surrender. The word surrender often conjures images of weakness, defeat, or giving up. We might associate it with waving a white flag, admitting failure, or passively accepting an undesirable fate. However, this is a profound misunderstanding of its true essence. In the context of personal growth and well-being, surrender is an active, conscious choice, not a passive resignation. It's not about abandoning responsibility or becoming indifferent to our lives. Instead, it's about acknowledging our limitations, recognizing what is genuinely within our sphere of influence and what is not, and then gracefully releasing the need to manipulate or force outcomes beyond our control. True surrender is an act of immense strength and courage. It requires vulnerability, a willingness to step into the unknown, and a profound trust in life's unfolding. It means letting go of the desperate need to dictate every detail and instead embracing the inherent uncertainty that defines existence. This isn't about becoming a victim of circumstances. It's about becoming a participant in life's dance, moving with its rhythms rather than fighting against them. Consider the analogy of a turbulent river. The individual who tries to control the river's flow, to redirect every current, will quickly become exhausted and frustrated. But the individual who learns to swim with the current, to navigate its twists and turns with agility and awareness, will move through the water with far greater ease and less effort. Surrender is about learning to swim with the river of life, recognizing its power and respecting its direction, rather than attempting to dam it up. The path to liberation. Embracing surrender begins with a fundamental shift in perspective. It involves cultivating mindfulness and awareness of our internal experience. When we feel the familiar tug of control, the anxiety bubbling up, or the urge to micromanage, we can pause and ask ourselves, is this truly within my control? And What is the worst that could happen if I let go? Often the answers reveal that our fears are exaggerated and our perceived need for control is disproportionate to the actual impact. One powerful practice is to identify the areas in your life where you feel the most compelled to control. Is it your career trajectory, your relationships, your financial security, your health? Once identified, consciously explore the underlying fears driving this need for control. Is it a fear of failure, a fear of rejection, a fear of instability? By shining a light on these fears, we begin to dismantle their power. Acceptance is a crucial component of surrender. This doesn't mean condoning undesirable situations, but rather acknowledging their reality without resistance. When we resist what is, we create internal conflict and amplify our suffering. Acceptance, on the other hand, allows us to move through challenging situations with greater equanimity and to focus our energy on what can be changed, rather than wasting it on what cannot. Moreover, cultivating trust is essential. This trust extends beyond self-trust to include a broader trust in the process of life itself. It's about believing that even when things don't go according to our meticulously laid plans, there can still be valuable lessons, unexpected opportunities, and new paths that emerge. This trust is not naive optimism. It's a profound understanding that life is a dynamic and often unpredictable journey, and that our greatest growth often occurs outside our comfort zones and beyond our controlled narratives. The fruits of surrender. The benefits of surrendering power are manifold and profoundly transformative. Firstly, it leads to a significant reduction in stress and anxiety. When we release the burden of controlling every outcome, we free up immense mental and emotional energy. The constant churning of what-ifs and the pressure to orchestrate perfect scenarios diminish, allowing for a deep sense of calm to emerge. Secondly, surrender fosters greater clarity. When our minds are no longer cluttered with the incessant noise of control, we gain a clearer perspective on what truly matters. We can discern genuine priorities from perceived emergencies and make decisions from a place of wisdom rather than fear. This clarity often leads to more effective actions, as we are no longer expending energy on battles that cannot be won. Thirdly, and perhaps most paradoxically, surrendering power ultimately leads to greater empowerment. This isn't the empowerment that comes from dominating or manipulating. It's the empowerment that arises from aligning with the flow of life, from understanding our true capabilities and limitations, and from reclaiming our inner peace. When we let go of the need to control external circumstances, we gain greater control over our internal state. We become less reactive to external events and more resilient in the face of adversity. This internal empowerment allows us to respond to life's challenges with greater wisdom, creativity, and grace. Surrender also opens the door to greater creativity and spontaneity. When we're not rigidly adhering to a script, we become more open to new possibilities, unexpected inspirations, and the joy of spontaneous moments. It allows us to embrace the serendipity of life, to discover beauty in the unplanned, and to find solutions in places we might not have looked before. Finally, surrendering fosters deeper and more authentic relationships. When we release the need to control others or dictate their actions, we create space for genuine connection based on respect, understanding, and mutual freedom. This allows for more loving, less strained interactions, as the pressure to conform or perform diminishes. The journey of surrendering power is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. It requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to continually return to the present moment. There will be times when the old habits of control resurface, when fear attempts to reassert its dominance. But with consistent effort and a conscious commitment to letting go, the grip of control gradually loosens, replaced by a profound sense of liberation. So, as you move forward, consider the possibility that true freedom isn't found in holding on tighter, but in the courageous act of letting go. Take a deep breath, release your fears, and discover the transformative power that awaits when you choose to surrender. This is not an abdication of responsibility, but an embracing of a more expansive and fulfilling way of being. It's a path to a life lived not in the grip of fear, but in the embrace of genuine peace and authentic empowerment.